Now we are into most important configuration, that is pricing. Pricing has what you call forms the basis of all all the transactions. Basically, it's one of the backbones. So the first activity what we need to do is we have to speak to business and understand what exactly their price requirements are. What are the price elements they use? So they can, and based upon that, let's assume the client has mentioned to you saying that they have a base price, they have a special price, they have a base discount, special discount, manual override price, manual override discount, manual surcharge, tax, and cost. All these things are of part of their what you call pricing structure. Now you have to ask them, uh, dig deeper and ask them what exactly each of these price element is contained of, how it is each element is determined. When we say base price, what does exactly a base price mean? How does a document or your business transaction determine a base price? Then he will come out with details saying that base price is based upon a sales organization and material. Special price is a combination of sales org, business transaction, product hierarchy, material group, customer group, material, and customer. So we have, then we are talking about in SAP language. Then we are getting into SAP language. So let's assume these are the, would you say, pricing elements in detail or combination field combinations given by the customer. Now we have to what you call structure our SAP pricing based upon this. So the first thing what we need to do is whether we have to check whether all these fields mentioned by the client are available in pricing or not, and then if they're available, then we can create a table for that, for each of this. So as we see here in, we have, let's say, to have consistency we require just three tables to be created, and let's see whether do we have all the fields as required for this table. Let's go to SAP IMG. Pricing is defined under sales and distribution, basic functions, pricing control. Click on define condition table. Check whether all the fields what we are talking about are existing in the system or not. To that, just check the field catalog, and if you do not find any field, you need to ask the ABAPer to create that field in structures or internal tables. For example, let's say I'm trying to create a test table. What it would say is this field does not exist in COMG, COMK, COMP table. So as an ABAPer has the responsibility to create this new Z field in these tables. As such, I'm not an ABAPer, so I will not creating new fields here. I will be using existing fields. So these are the 192 fields available, and you can see how these are used. Let's go back and create a new condition table. So I will be creating new condition table as 956 or 957. The reason I know the number range because I've worked with the system earlier, or you can find what are the open number ranges available here as well. So I'm creating 957, it already exists, sorry. So I'll be creating 958, it already exists. Let me go back and check rather than being a bit cocky. 58, 59 is there, 960 isn't there. So I will be creating 960, or I should be able to create 960. So the first table which I want to create is sales org and material. So I have to find out sales org. Just double click on this, and material. Now we check just the technical view. we find material as footer field. We will see what exactly footer field means. And once you have what you call define this table, just click on generate so that a database table is generated. Herein you are getting a message saying that a table already exists. That is just an information message, that is fine. Just click on condition table. It's asking whether it's a local object. Yes, I would say local object. See, herein it creates the table with a prefix called A960, because the prefix is used when you search what you call pricing condition tables. I will we will discuss how this is working later. So now we have created this table. Let's create another table, 970. So herein we are using combination as mentioned earlier. The second one, sales or order type. Sales org, then sales document type, then product hierarchy, then customer group, then material and customer and material. Let's go that way. Customer and material. We have two fields here. Let me check which one is the correct field. Let's see, this is not the correct field. We need Kunnar actually. So just go back. Rather than this one, delete this one, and let's click this one. Technical view. Yes, this is the right field. And then last is material. See, the more field combinations you are giving, the more specific will be the search. Let's check this one as well. Technical view. That's fine. So now let's generate this table. Even these with validity period and with release status create field values actually and are used in table generation. So we have created 960, 961, 962. This is the third table which will be creating: customer group, material group, and material. So just clicked on other description, like whether you want to have long key or short key. So I will be using sales org, then customer group, material group, customer group, then material group, and material. Just check technical view. So these are footer fields. That is fine. Save. Sorry, generate and save. So we have created 3 new condition tables for these ones: 960, 960, 961, 962. Now create an access sequence wherein we will be, now we have to define a new access sequence wherein we will be using these condition tables. Access sequence is nothing but a search strategy to determine a proper condition table. One thing which will you notice is that Each access sequence has a category, whether this access sequence is relevant for pricing or for rebates. So that is the difference actually. So we'll be creating new access sequence called ZB base sequence, sub base sequence, and ZB specific sequence, special sequence. So under this ZBS I will be creating one table, or adding one table. Table 960 will be under this one, and the reason it says local class is because we are not using any other system. If you are using any other system, you have to use transportable class. Those are basic and basis entities, and which you will see under transports actually. So let's not get deeper at this point of time. Okay, coming back to the spines. Now I've assigned this 960 table, but all the fields under this table should be made active or relevant for document actually. So what you are trying to do is, you are trying to make a link between condition table and document fields. That is what essentially you are doing here. Just select this one, click on fields, double click on this. Herein you can see that document fields have been assigned to this condition table fields. You can see release status and processing status as well. So just save that one. Let's come back. So this table has been created. Now use this access sequence and create new accesses or tables under this. We have 961 table, 2 is 962. We have created two tables just few minutes back. Again we will be assigning these fields. Even you can give requirements. Requirements are nothing but to say that the system needs to check certain requirements before executing this table. So requirement will have a routine which will check certain conditions before going into this table, and that you can see that exclusive ticks is because if you click on this one, this is ideally very nice to have. This will ensure that once the system determines the first condition record for this sequence, it will come out of the system and bring that value, and it will not search this one. So now we have defined our access sequence. So first create condition table, create access sequence, assign your tables to this access sequence, and now create the required condition types as required by the required business, and assign access sequences wherever necessary. So let's go back and create new condition types. Let's copy PR00, which is a base or standard SAP price condition, and we can use the same thing. I'm changing and creating a new one as ZB01, that is sub base price, access sequence as ZB base sequence. Am I right? Let me check again. Yes. So the condition class is prices. You can have different condition class like prices, discounts. At this moment type, this is a base price, so we are using condition base price. What is the calculation type? It is quantity, means you have price per item. It's an item condition, for that means it will be at line item level. The scale basis is quantity. What exactly scale basis means is, you can have price for say 1 to 100 units, say $5, from 100 to 1000 units $4, from 1000 to 10,000 you can have $3. So you have what you call an quantity scale, and what it says is descending scale. What that exactly means is, when you maintain that, it will be in reverse order, like 1000 to 10,000 £3, $3, 1000 to 100 it will be $4, in that order. We will remove this required pricing procedure. I do not want this one. Do you want to update condition index? Condition index and condition update are primarily used for statistical purposes, and condition index is like whether you want to what you call record this condition records, maintain the condition records for statistical reporting. And condition update is useful when you want to what you call use this condition record for only say 100 first 100 customers or first 100 orders, then you can use condition update button, but it is not normally used. Here plus minus sign will say how the condition value will be shown in the what you call pricing procedure. So we are using plus sign. I'm not touching any other thing. Just save. Now let's copy this one and create new S2 condition special price, and we are giving the second access sequence. So rest all other things will be same. Then we have third thing, that is manual price. For a manual price, you do not need an access sequence because you are entering manually, so you do not require. This is an item condition, no manual thing, no limitations on manual entry changes. Just enter. So now we have created 3 condition types as mentioned here: special base price, special price, manual override price. Let's even do a surcharge as well here for ZB04. Surcharge is different kind of what you call condition class, wherein you want to penalize actually customer, saying he needs to pay educational surcharge or anything else, or environmental surcharge. Normally in Europe for televisions and what you call petrol, I think cars, you have a surcharge for carbon dioxide, wherein the government will be adding 1% extra to the total price of the car. So that is called as surcharge. Just an example, but it is comes under it will not come under the price, but it has a surcharge. Now let's create our other discounts and all the stuff. So we'll be copying that, just changing the condition class to A, that is discounts and surcharge, and negative sign minus, and I need to change the herein discount. I will just use this one, create new 6 special discount. And we will be changing the access sequence to special access sequence. Yep. And the final one is manual discount. manual discount, which will have no access sequence. And save. So now we have created 7 condition types as requested by business. Tax and cost we will be using provided by standard SAP. Now once we have defined condition types, we have to have what we call as pricing procedure. Pricing procedure is nothing but collection of condition types with different controls provided to that. So you can see you have document pricing, you can define document pricing procedure, you have defined customer pricing procedure. Before that, we will just first maintain our pricing procedure. So we will be creating a new pricing procedure called ZSAB 001 or 01. Oh, it doesn't exist, so let me create a new one. ZSAB 01 sub pricing procedure. Under that, I will be now creating steps and condition types. So new step 10 is counter 0 ZB01, enter.